Well, looks like after eye surgery on my left eye for a torn retina, I will not be doing anything for about 2 weeks. Based on what the doctor told me, I will be able to get out and walk around, not lift over 20 pounds, and probably what I'm going to do today is about the most I'll be able to do for at least 2 weeks till I go back and see the doctor. So anyway, we're at least going to walk through the yard. Hopefully we won't get attacked. We'll find out. Of course, you can tell it probably needs to be mowed, but again, unless I hire somebody that's 2 weeks down the road, it's not going to get done. But these are the queen castles. They do have queens in them. The last time I looked, I definitely know the one on the end has 4 queens. This one, there's at least 2 queens, and the one right here should have at least 2 queens. But again, until I can get well enough myself to get back into them, I really don't know what we're going to have. Hopefully they won't get so overcrowded that they'll swarm. And maybe I can con one of my kinfolk, like my wife or my younger sister, to come up here and do this for me. Like I told them, I can talk them through what I need them to do. But we'll see how those things goes. Like I said, every hole is active. There is bees in every hole. And like I said, I do know there are queens in there waiting to be moved. We'll go up and look at a few nooks real quick. These nooks were queen cells placed in these. First 2, number 1 and number 2. They are pretty active. Again, I might be able to lift the lid off of them. The lids don't weigh too much, but I really don't want to do that unless I get okay from the doctor, just to make sure everything's good. What's really crazy is 2 years ago I had this exact same thing happen to my right eye. I wish I could tell you what happened, but I don't have that answer. Number 8 colony, which is just really a nook. That's my number 8 nook. That was the swarm that I caught off the ground. I did about a week ago add a second level box to it. I probably should have went ahead and put them in a 10 frame, but that gives them plenty of room to expand. So they should be good. And of course, we'll walk through my hives real quick. And like I said, most of these do have my PEX front ends. Like I said, I can see nectar and pollen. Definitely I can see pollen coming in. I can assume more nectar is in there because the last time I was inside, everything had nectar. You can see I actually have added second layers and maybe third layers to some of these. So I know they have room. Number 10 you can see is one that I have just a standard entrance on. I was comparing it to these PEX entrances to see if I could really tell any difference in them. To me, the bees don't care. The bees still go in and out of these things just fine. They, like I said, they don't seem to mind them too much. But like I said, to me, I think if it ever come down to a robbing situation or anything where they had to defend their hive, they could defend their hive a lot better through 3 half-inch holes than they could through the full hole like this, or without an entrance reducer at all in it. These all have screen bottom boards, so I'm not worried about ventilation. They do have ventilated tops on them, most of them do. And you can see the vents on some of them, if I can control this camera right. Like I said, most of these do have ventilated sections in the very top. So these are ventilated on the top and the bottom. Seem to be doing pretty good. These smaller hives are some packages that I put in. Number 1, 2, and 3 were all from packages. They seem to be doing pretty well. Number 3, I have a queen excluder on it. Last time I was in it, the bees were in the second level. They do look pretty good. Number 6, I wasn't trying to skip over it, but this was just a small swarm that I caught in a swarm box. I think this swarm trap may have, when I opened it up and looked at it, had one full frame and a half a frame of bees. The last time I was in this, they were probably 5 to 6 frames solid of bees. Still had a lot of building up to do, but the queen was definitely laying, and they were bringing in pollen and nectar, and they seem to be doing pretty good. We go over to the other section over here. These are mostly under frame entrances. I don't know if people have seen these or not. I started thinking about a way to do it, and lo and behold, I thought, nobody else surely has ever tried to make an entrance this way, but I did find plans on the internet for these, so somebody has attempted this before. It seemed like the bees like them pretty well. I think I've got six down through here. Six of these are the bottoms. I've got 2 more that are PEX entrance down here. These bottom entrance, like I said, the bees sort of seem like they like them. I can't say they like them any more or any less, but to me, these things are super simple to build. The one right here, number 18, I built it all out of 3/4 inch by 4 inch or maybe 6 inch boards. I think it's 4 inch boards, so it's 3/4, or it's 1x4 boards, pine boards, and then I ordered I added a 1/2 inch cleat to the top of them. And if you look at most of them, I have added a 1/2 inch cleat, which will set the hive up off the bottom just a little bit more, gives them a little more room to work. Some of these you'll see, like number 17, looks like the front landing board has got a little wet. I still need to find out how I want to do the landing boards. 18 seems to be doing the best. It's just got like a screened 1/8 inch mesh landing board, so there's no way water can distort it. Anything the bees fly in and might knock off lands in the bottom. And like I said, you can see I'm out here and the bees don't seem to mind me too much. There's quite a bit of activity as far as the bees flying around. This number 4 was another one of my swarm traps. Definitely I know that. And the last one I'll show you is number 5. It's the one I went over and got out of a tree in Hickson. So it was a swarm recovery. It is doing super well. So far everything in this apiary out here seems to be doing good. I mean, I've still got some works to be done, but everything looks well. Don't see any problems with any of this. Like I said, hopefully in a week or 2 I can get back into these hives if it's not too late. Or like I said, maybe I'll be able to con my siblings or my wife into donning one of my bee suits. And I don't try to usually smoke these hives. The past 2 or 3 times I've been in them, I have not had to smoke them. They have worked well without being smoked. The primary thing I have found is to be gentle with the bees, and they seem to be gentle with me. And that's my goal. You know, I'm gonna try my best to get these things to where next year, if not this year, I'm gonna start selling a few of these nooks and a few of these packages off. But we'll see how that works out and go from there. But again, this is a work in progress. This apiary is. I've got another one I'm working on, trying to get things set up. But again, I am down for at least 2 weeks. And as soon as the doctor releases me, we'll go back at this wide open again. So anyway, that is all I plan on doing today. This is about it. Other than that, I am going to go back in, kick back in a chair. The doctor said I cannot recline. I do have a bubble that he injected into my eye with SF6 gas. So He wants me to try to keep that the bubble on the spot where the retina was torn. And I guess that keeps applying pressure on it where it will hold everything together and seal. But he must know what he's doing. It seemed to work pretty good on my right eye, so we're going to pay attention to him this time on my left eye. So I hope everybody's doing well, and hopefully I'll see you again as soon as I can. I will make other trips through here, or I may even come out and film if I can con somebody else into doing this for me. Even if hopefully I'll get a gentleman to come out and mow this, keep this stuff cut pretty good. I've still got time, but I'd rather stay on top of it than let it get ahead of me. Anyway, have a great one, guys. See you next time.